containers and vessels to hold annual plants. One crucial thing is you need to make sure that those things have drainage. Drainage is crucial for the success of your container. So you have to make sure that those have drainage from the bottom so the water drains freely, or you're going to end up with a little water garden. Tonight I brought just a traditional container.
Tracy?
Another thing that is key is that you want to use a good commercial.
This is Ben.
Something like something that's peaking.
What do you think I'm doing right now?
From the garden. It's just too heavy for containers, doesn't drain well, and it's tightly compacted, doesn't let the roots of those plants grow. So those are two key elements of containers. Another thing, the use of slow-release fertilizers, product like Osmocote, which lasts 3 months, slow release, so every time you water, releases fertilizer into your container. It's very useful. A lot of us use Miracle-Gro on a 2-week basis. Every 2 weeks I recommend to water your plants with Miracle-Gro, especially your containers. Because you're watering them so much that their water is just going right through and washing out all the nutrients. So that you can do, some people do the two, they'll do the Osmocote and the Miracle-Gro. I just use the Miracle-Gro at home, but the Osmocote is crucial. Osmocote. You use an Osmocote?
I use Miracle-Gro.
You use the Miracle-Gro. Okay, you can use either one or the both is great. Tonight I want to talk about some combos. We're all familiar with the Vinkavine, the Spike, and the asparagus, or Vinkavine geranium and the Spike. That's a traditional container that's been around for years and years. And that's a good basic principle. That's a height, a mid, and a trailer. And in recent years, the nomenclature on that has been changed to thrillers. Thrillers meaning tall accent plants. Fillers being your mid or medium filling plants. And then spillers replacing the term for trailers. So you'll see in many of your magazines, garden shows where they're calling things thrillers, fillers, and spillers. Alright? And today I want to talk about some basic thrillers, fillers, and spillers and show you a couple combinations. First one here is red fountain grass. This can work in a container as well as in the garden. You'll see them in plantings and commercial settings, or you may have them in your own garden. Tops out at about 3 feet tall, gets a nice rich burgundy foliage, and this nice rosy red tassels all summer long. Being that it's an annual, it will not reseed itself in your garden. You don't have to worry about it coming back for years and years and becoming a weed pest. Just a nice, great summer grass. Another thriller is a gray leaf plant called Centaurea Colchester White. This is a gray leaf bachelor button. We're familiar with the annual bachelor buttons that are green foliage. This one is gray foliage. Again, goes to about 2.5 to 3 feet tall. Sends out a lavender bachelor button type flower. Just a nice airy accent in a container. Also great in the garden, where it's much more robust if it's planted directly in the garden versus a container. Just a good overall plant. Resembles the Dusty Miller on steroids. Just a big giant Dusty Miller. Just a nice. Another thriller is a group of plants called Acalypha, copperleaf. And these are a group of old-fashioned house plants. They've been around for a long time. Acalypha or copperleaf comes in this burgundy, comes in oranges, comes in marble versions of oranges and burgundy, comes in a cream, comes chartreuse, comes in a wide leaf, a narrow leaf, and a cut leaf. So there's a ton of them on the market. And again, just grown for its foliage, just a great accent in a container. Some fillers, one that I would not be without is coleus. And in recent years, coleus have been introduced to be sun towers. It's a group of plants called Solenstemum. I don't want to do a botany lesson here, but traditionally coleus were always shade plants, but for the past 5 years now or so, they've become sun plants. And these, with their intense colors, even get better in the full sun. So they can still go, this plant can still go in the shade or a semi-shaded location, but it will perform its best in the full sun. Color intensifies, and the growth on it is phenomenal. There's some that can go probably from about a foot tall all the way up to about 3 feet tall. Just massive, massive plants. And again, a ton of different leaf shapes, from wide leaves to narrow leaves, cut leaves, ruffled leaves, you name it, there's a ton of them out there on the market. What's nice about the coleus is that late in the season, as your other flowers may fizz out, I mean, we're having August peak already, but as you get to August, traditionally it's super hot and dry, and you lose a lot of things. Some of your petunias and that will fizz out. Coleus still pulls you through. It still gives you that color component that keeps you going all the way to a frost. Some other fillers I brought along. Oxalis. This is Oxalis Zinfandel. This is an annual clover. Comes in a rust color as well as this dark burgundy. And next year there's going to be one coming out that's a variegated purple and cream. So it's going to be another nice dimension for the Oxalis. The Oxalis grows to about 10 inches tall. Nice mounding plant. Produces this yellow flower. The yellow flower could be pinched off if you just want the foliage, or it can be left. Some people leave the flowers, some pinch them off. It's a personal preference. This is a new filler. This probably could also be a thriller. This is Hemizigia. Just a nice upright green and cream colored foliage. Just a super accent against any of your brightly colored flowers or darker plants. Some spillers, Supertunias. Is everybody here familiar with the Supertunia brand? Supertunias are wonderful. Traditionally, you have to get out there and paint Supertunias. They got long and leggy.
What's up?
Supertunias are bred with a short inner node, which means that they don't get leggy. They're between the leaves is much shorter space than a traditional petunia, so they're going to stay nice and dense for you. They're going to bloom like monsters all summer long, and they come in a ton of colors and combinations, variegated, you name it. This one is pretty much Picasso, the purple with the Czerkies edge. Very nice, nice plant.
Yeah. Thanks, man. But
another nice plant is, we all know this as alyssum. It's still alyssum, but this is Snow Princess alyssum. It's a vegetatively produced alyssum, and will mound up to about 10 inches tall and can trail to about 3 feet, just engulfs a container, and does not fizz. Traditional alyssum will fizz out if you're growing it during the heat. This keeps going and going all summer long. And next year, there's going to be a lavender version of this coming out. So you'll have white and lavender as well. It's a great plant. Another nice trailer or spiller is Scaevola or fanflower. Scaevola traditionally came in only blue and white. Our vendor here at the end, he has a white Scaevola basket for sale, so check that out as you go. This is a yellow version called Suntastic Yellow. Just a nice soft yellow accent again. The Scaevolas are traditionally heat lovers and will bloom and produce flowers just all summer long despite extreme heat. So this is a good one, does very well in hot, dry conditions. Another plant that was new this year, it's a little beat up right now, but this is a Kufia or Mexican heather. Traditionally Mexican heather is a lavender bushy type plant. It's also cigar flowers in the same family. It's an orange tubular flower. It's about 18 inches tall. But this Kufia is Cuphoric pinks and it trails. This one trails from the side of the pot. Nice lavender flower. One drawback on it, it is not forgiving if you don't water it. This won't get crispy, crunchy if you do not water it, so this needs ample water. So if you're a little lax, you may want to skip Kufia Cuphoric if you're not a regular water. Alright, I'm going to put together some combos. First one I want to do is with yellows and whites, and I'm going to use this Chartreuse coleus, and this one's name is wasabi. So just like wasabi, great plant, holds that color all summer long. It's wonderful. You can see how sturdy these are. These are nice, tough plants. So I'm going to use wasabi as my height. I'm going to bring in this hemigraphis as a cream accent. And then I'm going to bring in this Centaurea, again a tall plant. So if I did it, tonight I don't have another shorter gray version, but you can use Dusty Miller as a substitute. Would work just fine. Or the helichrysums, the gray helichrysums would work just fine. But for purposes for this combo, I'm going to put this guy in here. So technically, I have two talls, but the Centaurea will power over both. So this would be your skill. Then I'm going to add in this yellow scaevola, and then I'll put in this alyssum as my spiller. So a nice chartreuse yellow white combo. In a container this size, I probably would only go about 3 plants, but for the demo, I didn't want to bring a ginormous container. The amount of plants in here, 5 to 6 plants, would be for a 14 or 16-inch size container, a nice large container. Although in a container, you can go a little tighter on your spacing. You don't have to follow the 6-inch or 8-inch rule of spacing on some annuals. You can pack them a little snugger. If you go too snug, you start to mess with the overall health of your container because as things grow, something's going to smother out the other, something's going to take over and take more water from the other. So just watch it. I would do no more than like 5 plants in a container, a mixed container. All right. Any questions? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Plant those in a circular arrangement.
Yeah, the question was asked about how you would put those in a large container. Yeah, it's a circle arrangement, basically. I did. For demo purposes, because I wanted you to see all this stuff as it cascaded down. But at home, you can do it one-sided, which would be this way with the big guy to the back. You see sometimes where people put them on either side of the garage door. That would be that where you plant your tall stuff at the back and then work your way down. But on the patio where it's going to be viewed from a 360, I would do that in the center and then work those off to the side. Yep, that's a great, and a large container, because bagged potting soil is so expensive, you can spend hundreds of dollars just on potting soil. If you have a large container, you can use discarded plastic pots to fill your container, and then only fill soil in the top foot or so, or 15 inches of the container. You can also use packing cans. The non-biodegradable packing cans, if you have those, you can fill your container with those. Corks. If you're a heavy drinker and you save your wine bottle corks, you can fill the bottoms of your container with corks. There's a number of things. But the plastic pots we all have, because we're buying plants, so fill the large containers with those plastic pots. The plants that I brought tonight will be full sun or part shade. And the oxalis can go either way, full sun or part shade.
Can you give me the name of that alyssum again?
That's Alyssum Snow Princess. And that's available at your big box stores, your mom and pop nurseries. It's available all over. And then next year there'll be it's a lavender princess coming out. So a nice another dimension with that lavender color will be beautiful. I'll do one for you, Joe. The lavender. Any other questions? You can go part shade to full sun. It's pretty flexible. Any other questions?
Any comments on
Clay pots versus the foam pots or the plastic pots. Of course, they're going to be heavier. If you're using unglazed clay pots, they're going to drain quicker. The air movement, because they are porous, that container's going to dry out a lot faster. And I don't have clay. I'm traditional to the clay at home. But some of these new plastic and these polymers and these foam ones that are coming out are absolutely gorgeous, and I highly recommend them. They're wonderful. And because of that factor, that they're going to hold water long. No matter what you use, just make sure that it has ample drainage. That's important. All right, any other questions? I'm going to throw together one more combo here. This one here, I'll use the grass. Got the red fox grass, and again, sir, this one could be, I would do the center of the pot, but I'm going to take it to the back. So this would be my showy guy here, and then I'm going to add in this Acalypha, again, just with some burgundy color. And I'm going to pull this olive green coleus called Penny into here as well. I'm going to bring the burgundy oxalis, and then I'll bring this add in this Kufia Kufor, the purple Kufia, just to add again some color. And again, just a nice, I mean, that's not for everybody, it's dark, rich color combo, but it does work. And again, don't be afraid to play with colors, to play with plants. That's what gardening is all about, is to have fun, experiment, let your inner artist come out. And one thing, if I can't stress it enough, is to experiment. Don't get in a rut. So many people get in a rut. They do one thing, it works for them. They do those same plants over and over again. Experiment. Go out and experiment, try new things. Don't get in a rut. Even if you try one new thing a season, at least you're, making an effort. All right? Any other questions? Well, thank you. I'm going to wrap it up and turn it back over to Karen.
Thank you.